Hi, I'm Sam with Axle AI, and we're making media smarter. When I first visited Madison Square Garden, who are today one of our best customers, I was surprised to see huge duffel bags full of hard drives at the conference table, and two guys who were taking them and unplugging and plugging them into their laptops. When I asked them what they were doing, they said, "Oh, we're looking for a highlight from October." And that's when we knew we could help them. Today, we have over 200 customers worldwide, including not only sports venues and teams, but also large brands, studios, TV producers, even election campaigns, and universities. All of them have a shared problem, which is how to handle the huge amounts of video content that they're forced to search and manage every day. Now, it's a needle in a haystack problem because as much as 40% of their time is spent just finding material. And the techniques are really primitive. Everything from loose hard drives to post-it notes to vague recollections of what they shot when. You would think this would be a solved problem, kind of like Word docs or Excel spreadsheets, but it's not. And in fact, the number of teams that are doing this type of work is growing dramatically, from about 400,000 today to as many as 1 million by the end of the decade. Interestingly, if each of those 400,000 teams is able to spend, say, $200 a month to solve this problem, we already have a $1 billion opportunity, and that should more than double over the course of the decade. One of our existing customers, American Public Television in Boston, told us that they were able to migrate from an on-premise workflow to a fully remote workflow using our software in ways that would have not been possible before. That's because our software uses a browser interface, and so people can access it from wherever they are. Again, a huge shift from the way work was traditionally done in the media space. Now, we've generated all of the revenue that we have to date based on this ability to search and manage content, but we're adding the ability to edit it into finished products. We will still have integration with the Adobe suite, with Final Cut, and with Avid for finished output. But it means that for many social media postings, you'll be able to do a complete creative workflow and publish from within our software. And that's a pretty major advancement going into 2022. How does it work? There are several layers to the stack. On top are our AI modules, and these are things like speech transcription, face recognition, object recognition, and logo recognition. And these all plug into the core, which has a very simple user interface that is easy to use for an untrained person. Underneath that, we have a workflow automation tool called Connector that create custom workflows to make individual steps less labor intensive. And then finally, a storage independent layer that lets us connect to both on-premise and cloud storage in a way that's familiar for the customer. This is what the front end looks like. It's a relatively simple, easily understandable layout. And this is what our video editing layout looks like. Again, very straightforward. I'm going to play a brief video. This is how customers use the software today. Typically, they'll navigate between folders. They can search for content based on what's in that content and quickly get down to the clips that they want to use for editing. Then they're able to take that editing content and add things like transitions, titles, and other effects before publishing to social media, or they can export to the finishing editor of their choice. Now, the competition in this space is significant. There's been a lot of M&A with over 15 companies acquired in the last year alone. But today, we mostly compete with large enterprise software companies with much more expensive offerings and smaller niche companies that are trying to sell either a particular type of on-premise storage or a particular type of cloud storage. Our management team is experienced, and together with me, they've worked on multiple projects in the past. At Avid, we were able to triple the revenues of our division in the 5 years that I was there, from $17 million to $55 million a year. We've already raised $1 million for the company through a combination of angel investments, accelerators, and most recently equity crowdfunding. And we're raising $1.5 million in a priced equity round, with $1 million already committed by the lead. We hope you can join us as we make media smarter.